Like the whole when someone, all right, this is a controversial take. When someone is like severely into something, like a show, you know, I was about to describe myself there actually. I was like, because you see these things where like they make their whole life about something. All right, this is me with JoJo in it.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
I saw something, when I remember that watching the show one time, and this woman had like everything in her life was Barbie.
Oh yeah, the one living in LA, right? The Japanese woman.
That's right.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Everything she owned was Barbie.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this like something that like can happen to anyone, or is this something that like
he said he ponders while his JoJo posters are in the background with the JoJo
listen,
statues and the $10,000 JoJo merch.
Everything he says
wearing his
JoJo
JoJo
reference.
suit.
Listen, I love JoJo, but I don't feel like, because when I see them talk about their show, I don't feel like they talk about it the way I feel about JoJo. You know what I mean?
I think that's what every one of those like obsessive collectors think as well.
But the way they talk
Cut to
about
Connor in 10 years.
yeah, right. Here's my JoJo toilet.
This could be just taken out of context and just clip with me talking about JoJo. I realize that, but like when I see them, there's almost like this this obsession that feels unhealthy. You could probably say that. You could probably accuse me of being the same.
Yeah.
But you know, when I just like the style, and I like decorating my office in a certain way. Like outside of that, none of my rooms are JoJo. You know, there's nothing else.
Are you talking about like when someone's entire house?
It's like their
becomes that
entire
collection?
existence becomes a collection of this thing.
Right.
And I just wonder, I'm like, is that something that just happens to anyone? Or is that,
I think so.
Or is it something that maybe something's happened to you where you've had an experience, or maybe you've been raised in a certain way and that makes you more receptive to being obsessed with something?
I mean,
What do you think?
I'm sure both sides can happen, but I think at the end
Psychiatrists, psychologists in the chat, can you let me know?
I think at the end of the day, it's just about like how much do you like this certain thing, right?
Yeah,
And how much are you willing to
I
sacrifice?
don't know. A part of me thinks there has to be something where you have to be more susceptible to addictive tendencies in certain ways.
I also think there's just some people where, for whatever reason in their life, this one thing means so much to them personally.
Yeah.
Maybe it came along at the right time. Maybe it helped them through something, but like they are so personally attached to this thing.
I'm not trying to bash you, by the way. I just want to like actually have a
Yeah,
discussion about it.
I think that's the real reason, because I mean I feel like a lot of Idol fans fall into that category where where they want to support these idols because they gave them something,
Yeah.
And I feel like that's more likely. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of people who maybe have addictive tendencies as well, right?
I guess because the whole thing that sucks about talking with idol stuff specifically is that, here in Japan, I mean, there's just some stuff that's fucked. Like, there was this one.
Well, I mean, the idol industry in general is kind of fucked.
it's okay. Well, yeah, there's so much predatory shit that goes on in there.
Yeah.
And also, I can't remember. I don't know if I've talked about this on Trash Taste, but there was this one video on YouTube done by some. I don't know which news agency it was. It was some not super mainstream one. They did like a documentary with this British guy, and he just goes to idol stuff.
Yeah.
But not normal idol stuff. 13-year-old idols in Japan. And man, this is an uncomfortable watch. Because it is like these dudes go to these concerts with this 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And she's dancing and stuff. And the guy goes around and just asks these guys, like, hey, why do you like it? And the answers they give are just really like uncomfortable. They don't say it. They don't say what you know what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But they don't really give a good argument as to not that.
Yeah. There's a really good documentary I saw. I think it's on Netflix called Tokyo Idols.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
And
I watched
it's-
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that one wasn't that bad because I really liked that one because I felt like it wasn't an insulting look into it.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
It wasn't
that was
trying
like
to
an
do-
actual like in-depth look. But at the same
It was trying
time,
to give I would say an unbiased look.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was just interesting. 'Cause
Yeah.
I watched it, and like you watch it and you don't really want to, you don't judge any of the people there.
Yeah.
It's just like, to me, it's just fascinating.
Yeah.
Right. How someone ends up in this situation where they spend thousands and thousands of.
Yeah, if you want to if you're a 40-year-old man and you want to give thousands of dollars to a 20-year-old woman, that's fine by me.
Yeah.
I got no qualms about that.
Yeah.
You can do that. That's your money. You do what you want with it.
Yeah.
But like the one where it was like 13, I was like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
I mean, I haven't seen that video.
You should watch it. I'll send you a link later. It's just
Alright.
like, oh my god, dude, and it's just like it's so obvious what's going on, and
yeah,
like,
it's not a good look.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's like some idol guy was like, man, these guys are making so much money off these idols. child idols, and it's like no.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, like, even if you don't mean it in that way that everyone's thinking, like, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
It really is not a good look, I feel.
Yeah, but like especially living in Japan, I feel like Japan as a country, more than like any other country that I've seen or been to, like I understand the word otaku here, because there are so many like really obscure things that people just get obsessed with.
Yeah.
And like it's there's no like definite pattern in it, but like we talk about anime otakus, but that's like I'd say the most broad otaku there is in Japan, because you meet people who are obsessed with like really strange things.
That's almost the most normal otaku.
Yeah, it is, right?
Yeah.
It is,
I think
right?
so, because like you look at My Strange Addiction, you look at these like sand-eating otakus.
Coffee animal otakus.
And that's why it comes. That's why it comes to my mind, because I feel like somebody who eats the stuffing in their mattress, which is a real thing, by the way. Yeah. I assume TLC is 100% rock solid with their journalism, and this is 100% accurate.
Yeah,
on stage.
Of course.
I'm sure some of the stuff on TLC is staged.
Some,
probably most of it. But you know, people who do the weird thing where they're like eat only fries.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that's got to be some sort of similarity to somebody who's obsessed with a certain thing that dominates their whole life.
I feel there's a big difference between an obsession and an addiction. You know what
I feel like, you know, when you are, something is your identity. You know, it is an addiction in some senses. I feel like obsession, addiction, the line is blurred.
You have an addiction to JoJo?
This just sounds like an intervention.
Is it, let's make it clear. Is it an addiction or is it an obsession?
I'm obsessed with the style of JoJo. I'm not addicted to JoJo.
That sounds like denial.
Day by day, I don't think about JoJo. I don't do anything to do with JoJo.
Really? Your attitude says otherwise.
I cannot watch JoJo. I can
quit anytime I like.
Listen, I don't suck cock every day. All right?
You're not looking for the next unsucked cock.
You know,
where is it?
I don't think about JoJo most days. Right? I know this sounds like a meme. Right? This sounds like a meme.
Yeah.
I don't think about it most days.
Okay.
I love the style. I love it in my room. And the suits are banging. Straight up fire. You can't deny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't like JoJo, those suits are fire. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
If the suit looked like shit, I wouldn't buy it. But it looks fire.
No, it does. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that.
Now, that being said, if I suddenly became everything about my life was JoJo, I only ever wore JoJo things, I wouldn't stop talking about JoJo. I know what you're going to say. There was a phase in my life where I did only talk about JoJo. That was a short period when I got into it, and I'm not proud of it. You know? I've changed for the better. I had an intervention. Garn told me I needed to stop. I did.
I'm a changed man.
If only every JoJo fan could be like that.
But also, you know, there's, at the same time, I think I'm like, okay, I see these people who have these very severe addictions or something, and I think, okay, maybe something has gone wrong, maybe it hasn't. But at the end of the day, I don't really care. You seem happy. You're not hurting anyone. Do what you want.
That's how I feel.
And ultimately, that's what it comes down to. But I am just fascinated of how one becomes addicted to something like that severely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to bash on it. I want to make that clear. I'm not trying to say, oh, it's fucked up or anything. I just want to know the process. Because
it's just
I
fascinating.
feel like because it's not a super normal thing to do, because it's not something that happens every day to everyone.
Yeah.
What happens to make someone super addicted to something? I just want to know.
My strange
Science
addiction.
explain. It's always about the strange addiction, not how it became my strange addiction.
Well,
that's what I want to know.
I just think, like, especially in Japan, it's part of the reason why Japan is such a gold mine for content, right? It's just because kind of like so many people are into so many niche things.
Because when you make people have to become so goddamn normal and so assimilated in society, anyone is dying to do anything different.
Yeah,
so I think that's
exactly.
why we get so many these niche and crazy.
Like, there's so
things.
many like niche bars and places, which, you know, some you've been to, some are still out there. Probably like we're like
never to be found.
Never to be found.
Because their entire childhood, their creativity is snuffed out.
Yeah.
They don't get to be creative.
Sure.
So when they become an adult and they can make money and they can live their life, you know, finally people
It's that epiphany moment
Yeah,
of
they
like,
can take control.
I can be different.
Yeah. And I think that's part of like part of the interesting about living in Japan is that you walk down the street somewhere and you find this random place and you're like, who made this?
Only in Japan.
A lot of things are only in Japan.
Living here, you just become to have such an appreciation for people who really just don't give a shit and love what they want here. Because my God, life is hard here if you don't conform. If you don't do what everyone else is doing.
If you're the one sticking out. It's very true.
And so when I saw that guy rocking all his American attire, I thought, fuck, man, the balls on this man. Thank God he had a good pair of denim jeans to contain those giant balls. He rocked up to a Japanese train station wearing that. That man did not give a single fuck what people thought.
Hell dude.
And it makes you kind of happy because you're like, this man doesn't give a fuck what anyone else thinks.
In
Japan.
It's funny because since moving to Japan and living in Japan, my standard for what's become cool and badass has just become so warped compared to like when I was living elsewhere. Because I remember this one time. It was like a busy street in like Shinjuku, right? And we were all just like standing there waiting for the lights to change. And then one guy, I'm walking right behind this one guy, and he's walking towards this massive crowd, and like the lights are still red. Doesn't even flinch, doesn't even stop, just fucking walks and Jay walks, and I'm just like, what a badass!
The emotion the emotion that and this is going to be 100% accurate. But at the end of Shawshank Redemption when Dufresne finally breaks free, that's how it feels. Whenever a Japanese man doesn't conform, you're like, the son of a bitch did it. And the son of a bitch crawled through the mile-long pile of shit to do it. God damn!
I'm like, he saw the red light that says not walks, and he didn't even phase him.
He said, "Fuck the system."
He said, "Fuck the system." I'm just like, fuck me, man. That's a badass. And I'm just like, fuck that. My standards for badass is so warped living here because like you see that in England, I'm just like, oh, it's just another fucking guy.
That's the key to living in Japan, right? Is to live in Japan and get all the good things and not piss anyone off.
Yeah, we're not saying to break the rules in Japan to be a badass. Don't do that.
Do whatever the fuck you want. Like as long as you're not hurting anyone and you're not breaking any rules, do what you want. Japan is such a depressing place if you follow every single goddamn minute rule. That doesn't need to be followed.
But that's the thing, right? And I feel that's why Japan is one of those few countries that does birth some of the craziest looking and the craziest acting and just like the most like unique type of people, because you need to be like that in order to fucking feel like you're living sometimes.
It's weird because it seems like it's either one way or the other. It's such an extreme, right? Which is why like whenever Japan's famous for having like very low crime rates, right? But for some reason, whenever you hear about a crime being committed here, it's the most
a fucking crime.
It's the most fucked up, demented shit I've like ever heard. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like the other day it happened right on the Odakyu line. There was a guy who like went on and just like stabbed 10 people because he was like, I just wanted to. And I'm like,
she's like the women are happy, right?
Yeah. Because he's like, I wanted to stab happy women. I'm like, what? Like,
just fucking hold up a corner shop or something, man. Like you never hear about someone like holding up like a corner shop.
Steal a grandma's purse or something, like something simple.
I just there's just so many people who like idolize Japan in that way, and I think you have to be realistic about it. Like I remember I was with Chris, and there was this he was on Facebook reading an article or something. And there was a post someone made on Facebook. It was like, did you know Japan has the least amount of exams in the world? And it was like, yeah, but only for a specific age group. And then they fuck them to death with exams. They literally ruin their life. They don't get to do anything other than exam and study. Like it's like, oh great, they get to have 1 year where they get to run around the fields and have fun, and then we fuck them to death with exams. It's the amount of pressure on people to succeed in exams here. I don't know anyone who went to a fucking cram school in the UK. Are you kidding me? I don't even have cram. I'm sure there is one. I don't know where it is. I don't know anyone else who went to one. At most, people had a private tutor once a week or something like that.
And even then, it was like, wow, you have a private tutor.
Yeah, it was like, oh, you got to learn this kid. Fucking hell. Like, education not good enough for you? All right. Like,
5 days of school not enough for you, huh?
Yeah, it's just like...
I say that as I went to Saturday school.
I know, right? There is a lot of... harsh realities about Japan that is overlooked because we want it to be this rosy and beautiful place that is lived up to all our expectations.
Which it is.
In many aspects it is.
Yes,
but I feel like we're lucky enough to not have to be part of the Japanese system.
No, we avoid probably some of the worst aspects, which is working in Japan. I think we work in Japan in the most comfortable way ever.
Yeah.
And we're working right now, technically.
It's great. I can just sit on my ivory tower looking down on all these peasants and telling them, oh, you should stop doing that. That's not good.
You should try working from home. Have you heard of that?
Well, yeah, I saw. Wasn't there?
It's a new hip thing with the young people nowadays.
Wasn't there a thing where they wanted to get people to come back into work, and like a lot of the workers were like, "Please, God, no, we want to keep teleworking."
Yeah. We've discovered the beauty of that is teleworking.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if anyone was going to love teleworking, it was going to be Japan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, it's like
it's kind of like mind blowing that it's taken this long for them to adopt it. Honestly,
Have you been on a Japanese Zoom call?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh my God, have you been on one?
Yeah, I have.
Oh my God, I was like, whoa, where's the fun, guys? Come on, talk a little bit. Like, no one said anything. I got on the call. We were there for like 5 minutes and no one said anything because they were waiting for one more person.
Yeah.
We were all just standing there with our cameras on. I was like, so the summer, right?
It's like, am I in the right room?
Please. I'm just like, please, someone talk about the weather. Just talk about the weather, please. Like,
I know it's been basic as fuck.
I felt like I was waiting for my turn to go on a game show or something where everyone was just nervous. Like, no one said anything. And then, even then, it was like, everyone would like, someone would say something. I don't know how, I've been on Zoom calls with like Americans and it's so much more chill.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I'm, whatever. But I remember there was this one call I had and there was 5 of us and one person would say something and they would just wait like 30 seconds, like process it. And they would be like, and I'd be like,
I'm like, guys, this isn't a courtroom. This is a fucking Zoom call.
No, right.
Well, I saw, they would in America they would publish a lot of the Zoom court proceedings.
Yeah.
And I said there was more jovial fun going on in those than on these Zoom calls that I was having. I would just stand there. It was so.
What do you mean by jovial?
Just more fun, more fun having
the judge is
fun.
like guilty. JK.
I don't know, just a few jokes cracked here and there. A few, even the judge would be like, "How's the day going?" Oh, good. Anyway, so this is file proceeding number. And,
anyway, life.
Yeah.
I just thought I used the weirdest thing that there was just like this weird understanding that no one was allowed to talk until everybody got on the Zoom call.
Yeah.
Like if they were
because
early,
it's all about procedure here. And if it's not
so
according to
strange.
procedure, then it's just chaos and panic.
I was just like, this is the most like unfun Zoom call of my life.
Not that Zoom calls were fun.
Not that I expected
Not
to be
that Zoom
fun,
calls are fun
but I didn't
anyway.
expect it to be like, all right, I'm waiting for my hostage person to tell my family about how much they're gonna ask for ransom.
I'm waiting for the Godfather to enter the room before
right.
I can say anything.
Yeah, it felt like something like there was some kind of like spiritual ritual about to take place, and no one was allowed to talk. It was so strange.
Like a seance happening.
It was so strange. I was like, what is this?